Good afternoon, I'm Sean Yao and this is One News Now. The Metro Manila Wage Board has approved a pay hike for private sector workers. Starting July 16, the current 570 peso daily minimum wage for non-agricultural sector workers will be 610 pesos. The daily wages of agriculture, service, and retail workers will increase to 573 pesos from 533 pesos. The Labor Department said that the wage hike is expected to benefit over 1 million workers in the National Capital Region. The Employers Confederation of the Philippines, or ECOP, likewise welcomed the increase. But ECOP fears that the pay hike could hit small businesses.
Marami pa hindi nagbubukas eh. Yun ay naalala namin na pag masyadong mataas, nadi-discourage yung mga micro na magbukas o magdagdag ng tao, baka magbawas pa.
And labor groups are not happy about the 40 peso wage hike in Metro Manila, but for a different reason. In an interview with True FM, spokesman of Nagkaisa Labor Coalition, Rene Magtubu, said the increase is still way below the current livable wage in the region of 1,200 pesos for a family of 5. He added that the wage board seemed to have favored employers more than the workers. For labor rights advocate Calio Di De Guzman, the wage hike should not only cover Metro Manila.
Kami ay nadismaya sapagkat binigyan yata ng malaking timbang ng wage board itong kahilingan ng mga negosyante na within their capacity to pay ang idagdag kaysa sa doon sa timbangin na ang kapasidad naman na bumili ng mga manggagawa para naman magkaroon ng disenteng pamumuhay.
Yun ang talaga yung aming inihahabol at sinusuportahan namin, yung panukala ni Senate President Yusubiri na maging pambansa o national wage increase ang gawin. Ang pagtaas ng presyo ng bilihin ay hindi naman NCR lang. Kung magkano yung VAT dito, ganun din naman sa probinsya. Kung magkano ang presyo ng gasolina dito, ganun din, yung gamot.
In other news, passengers of the Philippine National Railways have 2 days left to find new routes. Beginning Sunday, July 2, the PNR will shut down several train lines for 5 years to make way for the construction of the North-South Commuter Railway. The closure will affect 9 stations in Muntinlupa, Cavite, and Laguna. But railway authorities have clarified that the closure will not happen all at once. For now, all trips from Calamba to Binyan in Laguna will cease after July 2, while the last trip at the Santa Rosa and Muntinlupa stations will be on July 12.
Hindi naman natin kakayanin na sabay-sabay lahat. There are preparatory works needed. We don't want to have a situation wherein our province mates will be deprived of the trains and yet pwede pa naman silang gumamit. So that's why we are trying to maximize at the longest time possible for us before we stop operations.
Moving on now to another story. President Bongbong Marcos officially became president exactly 1 year ago today. The chief executive says there is still a lot to be done between now and 2028. Marcos Jr. acknowledged that his government's policies and interventions are a work in progress, especially when it comes to the agriculture sector. The president is also the concurrent secretary of the DA. In the past year, the farming and livestock industries dealt with several challenges, including the soaring prices of basic produce and the controversial importation of agricultural commodities.
We are not yet done. Ang dami pa natin gagawin. There are many things that we still need to do. We have to undo 30, 35, almost 40 years of neglect when it comes to the agricultural sector. And the agricultural sector still occupies the most fundamental part of our economy.
Time to take a quick break, but One News Now will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. open to iterations to its Love the Philippines slogan. In an interview with The Big Story, DOT Undersecretary May Elaine Batan said that they welcome revisions to the tagline. One suggestion online was to put a comma after love to soften the tagline so it becomes a message of affection from Filipinos to the world.
And we're very open to suggestions, and we're also open to how it can be interpreted and in the best manner by which we can be able to resonate what we would want to say to the world.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The retail prices of onions have gone up again to as much as 200 pesos per kilo. This is 20 pesos more from last week's tag price based on the monitoring of the Agriculture Department. The Samahang Industriya ng Agrikultura blamed the price hike on the still unsigned order to put the suggested retail price of onions at 150 pesos a kilo. One photojournalist and 3 others were wounded in an ambush in Quezon City. Abante photographer Rene Joshua Abiad and his relatives were on their way home when assassins shot at their car yesterday afternoon. 2 of the 4 victims are children and are now in critical condition. The PNP and the QC government have condemned the brazen attack and have ordered a manhunt for the suspects. TV and social media personality Aura Briguela is facing a string of complaints. The cases have been brought before the Makati City Prosecutor's Office for inquest proceedings. Briguela was arrested outside a pub in Makati on Wednesday after figuring in a brawl with several individuals. The 19-year-old is facing charges of physical injuries, alarm and scandal, disobedience to authority, and direct assault. Tito, Vic, and Joey, and the rest of the legit Tabarkads are all set for their noontime TV comeback tomorrow. But before that, TVJ and Joe Apao, or Jose Manalo, Wally Bayola, and Paulo Ballesteros were guests on Senator Raffy Tulfo's program Wanted sa Radyo. The host said viewers can expect a jam-packed show on July 1st with both old and new segments. Favorite segments like Pinoy Henyo and One for All for One will also be making their return on the show. Also yesterday, a blessing of the show studio, dressing rooms, and production areas at the TV5 Media Center was held. A nationwide viewing party will mark the TVJ show's pilot episode, and the still unnamed noontime program will air tomorrow, July 1 at 11:30 a.m. One News Now will be back at 3 p.m. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.